Figure I at least send a message real quick. Cause noticed that right when I started. What? Oh, yeah. Little beetle. There we go. Oh, yeah, do this real quick while chilling. There we go. Candy nose. Boo. Guess I'll see how long it's I do this. If we end up being a little busy or not. There we go. Little bitty chunk. This little thing. There we go. There we go. Ooh, little Vito. What's up, my big poof boy? My little nephew boy. What's up? Let's see what you got. You good? Outside, don't you? Oops. Ugh. Bloop. Ugh. I forget to randomize my playlist. I did. Ah, fuck it. I'll just let it keep going for a minute. I'll keep doing this thing for a bit. I'll randomize it later. I'll do this really quick though. There we go. Just to make sure that you stay decent. Okay, I think it shouldn't knock over nothing. Well, I like a low battery, but 45% is a little eh. Rather it be up, so I don't have to keep plugged in. Ugh. Oh shit! There was like one thing I forgot to do right today. That's a garbage bag. Shit. I know it came back. You're kind of like feeling like I forgot something. Yeah. Not the end of the world. Just do that tomorrow. It's not like it's an emergency status when it comes to that. Oh. I thought I had it open enough for me to squeeze through. Well, they squeeze through. There we go. You little chunk. Look at you. Immediately go straight for that. Adorable. Looks like Rose sent me some shit for Discord. He wants me to see some things, don't he? I wonder what those are. I'm gonna wait for him to pop in here at least. Well, I'm sure he is, but I'm gonna wait for him to pop to with a chat. At the very least. Boo. Boo. Well, there you go. Says the name and he comes forth. There we go. Ugh. I don't know if it's just me, but kind of had like a not a bad day, but kind of like an day. Good for the most part, but it's just kind of like man. And of course, I accidentally bonked the damn thing. Something about me, I got stuff done, but I was just like, damn. Couldn't at least get one of them complete. It was mostly just because doing an appointment for the plasma donor stuff. And unfortunately, my protein level was literally like 0.1 point off. Like, because the minimal for a protein level is supposed to be 6. It was like 5.9 for me. So I was just like, damn. I just asked, like, what was the minimal? And it said, it's 6. But yeah, just tomorrow, just have a protein shake before you show up. I was like, okay. So that's what I'm doing for tomorrow. I was like, damn, that was kind of a bum. A little bit of a bummer, but whatever. At least it ain't like some blood flesh shit, some other fucking shit like I used to in the past. If it's just a protein level thing, then I just, need to have a protein before I go up there next time. Maybe have like an egg sandwich before I leave or some shit. Because I've been kind of getting on a kick with those. Make like little like garlic toasts and then just make one little sunny side up. And if I had bacon bits, I'd sprinkle that shit on there and then just like usually we'll do like a somewhat of a soft to hard boil, like kind of in between. So just still a bit of a runny yolk. It's good. But that'd definitely be a really good source to get a little protein boost before I do something like that. So just do that next time. So I came back here because I was going to grab a couple other things for later. And my buddy didn't even leave for work yet. I also don't even know if he noticed I left and came back. I also don't know. I was like, because I came back and I was like, this car's still here. I thought he left already. And while I was like kind of, chilling for a sec and then like kind of whipping up a quick snack, then, he came in and came down and was like, all right, going to work. A little tired, but yeah. Good to give my baby some love, and then he dipped. I hung out with them for a little bit, so they weren't just like immediately caged up or whatever. Then I kind of like power naps unintentionally. And then I after that, actually made up my food, and then the heart left, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna leave shortly after he did to go, do a couple of the other things I want to do because it wasn't like some time crunch shit. My main thing was at least drop a few things off for Zukov, and then a couple other things and shit. But I was just like, oh fuck, I forgot something. Like right when I got back here, like I forgot the other thing was just grab some garbage bags for this place. Oops. Which, I mean, it's not like the end of the world with that. Just having one thing to do tomorrow. Boiling a 2-pound bag of black beans, gonna freeze them and make them part of a brown rice and peas. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to think of like something to whip up, but honestly, I'm just kind of like, eh. Unless it's just like the mac and cheese that's in there, I'm kind of like, eh. I could get something, but I'm just like, at least, from like a Winco whip something up, but Vito. Damn it, Vito. But I was just like, I'll just be cheaper to find something free here, just to be quick whip up. But then I remembered, like I said when I came back, oh, garbage bags. I had an excuse and reason to be over there. I should have just said fuck it, but whatever. Whatevs. Followed up with a couple places actually too, and it seems like that's good and on the up and up. Fingers crossed. So there's at least one thing I want to try to see if I can do for the weekend too, as well. On top of my two things, I want to at least try to make sure I have a little something ready to go when it comes to Juba Jubba stuff, food handlers and shit. I'll admit though, like after I went to my pad though, like I don't know what it was, but my gut after I like had a little food, fucking like hit me like a ton of bricks still out of nowhere. I don't know why. I'm fine now, but like my gut, like the lower end, literally made everything from like my entire like GI just feel shit. Like I felt like, oh fuck, did I eat something bad? I literally started second guessing everything. Like, did I eat some bad food? Oh no, this ain't good. And I was just kind of sitting there like, fuck no. Oh, this is hell. Because it's not even like, I don't even want to explain it, but it was just bad. And eventually, after a while, I'm just sitting there like a friend told, like, am I gonna puke here? And I never did, but I was sitting there like sweating beads, just like my gut hurting, just sitting there like, fuck. All right, I'm just gonna have some water or something. Maybe that'll help. And that did. And I was like, all right, my doggo, come here. And I just ended up being out up until like fucking, I don't know, like at least a little bit before 11. I was like, well, oops. I kind of, my body needed to recover with that one, I guess. I mean, so I was like, fuck it. Because I was going to talk to my dad about some shit. But I was just knocked out at that point. So I was like, what, fuck it. I'm kind of like in a weird power nappy mode today. Like, it's like do some shit, then power nap, do shit, power nap. It's like, I don't know what it is about today that I just doing that. I guess my body kind of needs it a little bit because don't feel bad right now. Feeling fine. So, guess I just kind of need like a weird semi-recovery mode and at least some activity to help with it, I guess. But that's what I mean. It's like it was some bad day, but just kind of a little, just had like a few things that would just like hit me. I'm like, Yeah, I know that feeling sucks ass. And what sucks is I wish that was their way to like literally suck that shit out of my ass. So it's not. I don't even mean to say it so fucking literally, but dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like that sesh was terrible because it was like barely anything in the first place. It just had to get rid of it. I guess it was like, nah, this is gone. And I just wish there was something to just like just get it all out. So it's not like sitting there, you know what I mean? Because that's what was making me feel shitty. Eventually, it got out to the point where I was fine at some point later, when my body recovered a bit. Where it's like, all right, that ain't in us anymore. And I can't even think of what the fuck I ate or anything that could have made my gut feel that way. Oh, you know what? It was the pepperoni jalapeno pizza that my friend brought over last night after work. It was all those jalapenos, bro. That was it. I love me some jalapeno. Dude, there's a reason why Logan was picking a few of them off. Because, like, I ain't trying to have a shitty moment the next day. I'm like, I love them enough. It's fine. It wasn't. I think I had a little too many and nothing to really help dilute it. I mean, I did, but obviously not enough. I had another PragerU ad pop up on my feed. I cannot believe there's still a fucking thing. It's amazing how flippantly they lie. Not surprising though. Anyway, the dude hosting the video literally claims falsehood within the first 10 seconds of the video. It's like, leftists are forcing institutions, and I hit skip. Well, yeah, because leftists aren't forcing institutions on, like, whatever the fuck they're trying to claim. Well, I mean, is there, like, leftist movements that are attempting to, like, try to, force change or, like, within institutions and shit like that? Sure. But the institutions themselves usually don't cave to that shit because it's such a small minor voice in comparison to like what really benefits those said institutions, which is usually a lot of money. And leftists tend to not exactly be money grubby greedy whores, so. Okay, I kind of like how so far my playlist, despite not randomizing it, is actually kind of random enough. It works. Once it starts not being random anymore, I'm going to start like, all right, I would be a bit. Switch that up. I'm pretty sure I knew what it was about. They really meant is we want to be able to discriminate, not face legal consequences. Well, yeah. Basically be able to say stupid shit online or, basically just utter. I was even like kind of seeing this on fucking Onion Nuggets a little bit, when they were live earlier. I ended up like catching up on some of the shit I missed out on. I think it was like near the end of their show today. At least I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah, it was because I was in the chat for a minute. But yeah, like they were talking about this a little bit about like when it comes to this whole free speech absolutism and when it comes to like extremists and when it comes to not facing consequences, when it comes to utter discrimination and in vile beliefs and ideologies, like especially when it comes to the idea of tolerance of intolerance, like when the paradox of that, right? I mean, because at a certain point, I mean, there is a truth to where it's like there are just ideas that frankly aren't just fucking debatable because they have been tried and done and are fucking disastrous. Like when it comes to fascism or Nazism, like especially when it comes to the idea of this sense of like especially when it comes to this sense of like the utter brutality that comes from it. It's not like if I career brigade or Fossil's like, let's trans people with just be sports. Yeah, no shit. That would be kind of funny though. Paradox falsehood. Well, of course it's a fucking falsehood. And and there is arguably value, a lot of value to, at least to a degree, being intolerant of intolerance. Because arguably, I guess there could be a gray area, like, if someone's like, F it, doing that shit. Like, it's an intolerance, but it's, like, tolerable enough in the sense of, like, shut the fuck up and get out of here. You know what I mean? But then there's, like, so Nazi levels of intolerance, where it's like, nah, you still be executed into the chambers. If I had the means and the law didn't abide, I would shoot you right the fuck now. Without even a second thought. And I'd probably piss in your bullet hole, too. Because they're fucking freaks about it. And there ain't no fucking value of tolerating or having any discussion with people like that. Period. For the same reason we don't see pyromaniacs setting one's on fire as creative expression. Exactly. It's not just, a form of expression. It's an assault and attack on the freedom and ability of expression. It's one thing to have an opinion about, like, yeah, I don't really feel, hundo about the whole trans thing and this and that. Because, frankly, look, I've met people like that. No, not really as much anymore because it's kind of been, the whole broader conversation has been normalized enough, for the most part. But like I still meet people like that. We're like, yeah, I'm build transport stuff, this, that, but what the fuck? I don't care. Let them do what they want. I just don't think it should be like, healthcare funded or this and that or whatever, but whatever, it's their life. They're not like supportive, but they don't care either, And it's like those, and I mean, it's like at least with them, I can be like, oh, whatever. I mean, at least you're not outright trying to fucking like, tell these people that they are just not allowed to, when it comes to these things. You got your fucking weird thoughts about it, but you don't care. It's like a you do you boo. I don't vibes. You know what I mean? But that's fine. You don't have to be around it. Yeah, you might see it out in the zeitgeist and the fucking internet and social media and shit like that. Duh. You're going to find that around. But, even in media and other shit, but if, it's not like, unless you're actively seeking it out, half the time, I guarantee you're not going to notice or care. You know what I mean? It's like, because frankly, even for like YouTube, there are a lot of streamers that I, can probably assume and infer that are probably trans, but I can like, I'll watch them. And frankly, my immediate thought is they're a chick or they're a dude. And then usually that inference is right just because they're trans in that, factor. So I'm just like, oh. Because, to me, I don't think about it. If anything, I'm just interested on if they're actually like, a cool, funny, interesting content creator. And there's a few of them out there, just like Dead Domain, Riverbird Jack. And Dead Domain actually did an interview with Damage, this trans rapper, which actually is playing in the background right now. Shit, Jazzy, really? But she did an interview with her, and I didn't get a chance to listen to all of it, but the little that I did listen to is pretty interesting. It's only like an hour long, maybe like 50 minutes long, something like that. Another one I used to watch a lot back in the day was Demon Mama, but I feel like I have this little bitty side tangent every fucking time. But whatever the fuck happened to her? She was around, and then there was like some drama between her and fucking Xander Hall or whatever the fuck. And then fucking some shit popped up about her. She addressed it and then just like dipped. It was just gone. It hasn't been around since. And what's weird is her Discord is still active. Like every now and then, once a blue moon, I'll check out her Discord and it's still active. There's people that are still there. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? Did she like rebrand or something? But like her Discord's the same. Like I'm kind of curious on what that's all about. Is she just kind of laying low for now and gonna come back, after some shit? I'm like wanting one of these days to be on Discord, be like, hey, whatever happened? I've been a long time fan and this and that. Just curious, but I'm kind of afraid to ask. Because I don't want to seem like, I'm trying to snoop around or spread bullshit, you know what I mean? Trans rappers, trappers. As far as I know, she's the, only trans rapper I'm familiar with, but it fucking goes hard. Honestly, like, I'll admit, not every song is my favorite. There are some, there's like a couple hit and misses, but I noticed that at least the older songs are a little bit more of a hit or miss, while the newer ones are like kind of getting more fire and fire each time. Where it's like some hard, brutal, like rap shit. I'm just like, okay, all right. I mean, they're not trans, but another really awesome rap group is Neighborhood Kids, and dude, they fucking go hard. They kind of like make their rap like kind of like some hardcore punk rap shit. Like where it is like some heavy, just like down, 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 down. Get them kids out in them cages. Down, 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 down. It's just like Jesus Christ, this shit goes hard. It's like fuck, bro. I mean, I will say they're not like vocally wise, and even my friend Logan's pointed out, they're not like the most like, kind of shit every now and then, because they'll do this like, or like, occasionally. And it's that, it's not like like some guttural shit. So they're not like full gutter, kind of, crust dark rap shit, but I mean, I don't really give a fuck. The beats, what they rap at, like it's good shit to me. And honestly, like even with that, it's grown on me now. It's it's kind of now an acquired taste where it's like it helps kind of soften some heavy blows occasionally, being like, ooh, whoa, need a breather there for a second. Now I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's kind of grown on me now at this point, but either way, like the shit's still good. I like it. And at least as far as I know, there might have been only like maybe one or two songs I'm kind of like on. But pretty much like out of all like maybe the 15, 20 some songs on like an album to have listened to, like pretty much all of them for the most part are bangers. You also said it'd be something on Substack too, where I said be like speed read this. Shit, I forget, and I also forgot to like get Discord set up on your phone because I would have just done that. So I'm assuming it's something I could probably read on here too, and probably be more fun to do that. Want to put a pin on it? Because I mean, maybe I'll make sure to remind myself next time to do that. Do it now. You're just saying fuck it. All right. Well, you know what? Is there a way I can maybe split screen while I am still streaming via YouTube? Is that a possibility? I'm gonna see here really quick, because if I can, then maybe I don't have to worry about it. At least look at TJ saying, all right, well, I'll do that really quick, because I had a pin on it. But here, let me see if I can do a quick little experimentation. Okay, damn it, I can't split screen it, but... Okay, that was good. I like it. I didn't quite get to every little thing, because I was trying to kind of get through it. But I dig it. I like that. I like that. I love how, like, fucking Santa had a goddamn Yule horn. I can only imagine that being, like, some Viking or, like, some Celtic warrior shit where they have, like, the, phalanx horns or whatever going. And everyone's just like, fuck. Potato. They got activated by the horn, bro. Here. Snag one. Snag one, you goof. I just love the idea of, like, honestly, these little dwarven elves just with weapons and pitchforks and other shit, just like coming over the horizon, just going, fuck you bitches, fuck your ass, and just charging into battle. Mainly go back to smoke weed after them. They did that while high. Yep, they were just stoned out of their mind too. That just proves that like stoners sometimes can't work out, in fierce battle, bro. You know, there was a soldier that actually got a medal during the Vietnam War while he was like high as fuck on weed. It was during the Tet Offensive, so it wasn't at Khe Sanh or anything. It was like at a smaller outpost, but um, it was near Khe Sanh though. At least one of the main areas that got hit. You know, during Tet Offensive, and he was just in his barracks with a few others, just kind of like, fuck this war. Yeah. You know, just smoking the chief and the weed. And then and basically they got ambushed by the VC and the NVA at the time, and obviously a few of the dudes who were kind of high on drugs were like, no, you know, they couldn't really operate. But this guy was like, all right, fuck it, I guess we're in the battle now. And grabs like a fucking M60 and starts like mowing down bitches. Like, all right, we got to lay down on, you know, returning fire on these guys trying to charge into our fucking trenches and shit. It was like, I don't know if you know Simple History. I think it's Simple History. Like, is it? Or is it? It's the channel that does the fucking like. Yeah, it is Simple History. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then but basically he was on top of, you know, a lot of the rest of the platoon and battalions that were there were able to hold him back, but it was noticed with his, you know, courageousness, you know, and shit, you know, during the defense, you know, because when his M60 ran out of some ammo, he was just running around grabbing grenades and other shit, just like, fuck it, just chucking these things in some other shit. He just was grabbing whatever the fuck he could find and was just like fighting back, basically. Get him, Jasmine. Get Jasmine. She bounced. Silly girl. See Cowboy Trump? Oh, yeah. It goes so hard, bro. Bush 2.0. It really is like some Bush 2.0 shit, bro. And somehow worse. Which I never thought could ever be possible. When Trump revealed he was wearing a mask, and he revealed he was really Bush, I would not be surprised. Like, it was an excuse for George W. Bush to literally just go fucking haywire. To really try to be a king, like he mentioned back in his era. I was God anointed. Now I shall strive. Dude, that's a theory. Oh. You know, in this fucking administration, I generally wouldn't be like, I wouldn't really be too surprised if there really is, like, you know, some weird Bushian level like influence. I mean, because frankly, there are definitely people within this administration that, you know, have come from that Bush era as well. There are people who are MAGA as fuck who are and were, you know, acolytes of the Bush era and Bush administration within the GOP and the Republican Party. You know, and they're still active. You know, maybe not as like politicians, but as lobbyists and other, you know, forms for sure. But even in certain cases, sometimes as politicians, they might vocally say one way or the other, but I mean, the fact that they always are, you know, pretty much in lockstep with the administration kind of says otherwise. TJ tweet saying, I'm begging people to stop electing these things, and it was close-ups of Biden and Trump. For real, dude. Because, I mean, I can't anymore, bro. I can't hang with it. Even if we get some neoliberal Republican weird dumb fuck pieces of shit, can they at least not be like these weird disturbing reptilian lizard creature fucking monstrosities that are also like barely functional with their brains? I'm just fingers crossed hoping that Free Eye Atlas aliens fucking infiltrate our governments and, you know, fucking do the whole day live thing, but for the better, you know what I mean? For the benefit of our species in this planet. Even if it means that we're subjugated as like some tributary state to, you know, these people eventually. I don't give a fuck. If it means that, you know, humanity ends up being better for it, you know, hey, better job than ourselves. Well, that's fucking such a contrast. But they're coming here illegally. So, oh my god. It takes a whole new definition to illegal alien at that time. And frankly, I'll be okay and, you know, and want some of that. I'd like to see what ICE and DHS is going to try to do to those motherfuckers. They're aliens. You don't think they got some crazy technology to just immediately vaporize you or something? You know what I mean? It's like we are being threatened by these humans. Evaporated. Get your ball, bud. Get your toy. Get that toy. Go get it. It's right there. Jazzy got it. Get her, Vito. Get her, Vito. Get her, Jazzy. Vito, you are just... You're just you just like being pushed over. Mike's really fucked themselves because I've gone from, well, I think the process should be made easier for the internet to fuck it, let's have open borders. Frankly, honestly, I was already kind of like an open borders. Because, like, let's fucking be honest, the United States, like, a good chunk of its history was unironically a fucking open border fucking nation. Did we have, like, a process, you know, to get people citizenship and all this other shit? Yeah. You know, Archer Island and Ellis Island, yeah, duh. You know, but how streamlined and quick was it with the kind of process of just getting fucking people here? And you know what? Yeah, there was also people that were turned away and other shit as well, despite that. Wasn't like a literal, like, yeah, just come in, you know, it wasn't literally that. But it was enough, you know, to the point where it's just like, hey, you know, there is a genuine sense of like, you know, like we want to take people in. Now it's like we're like, do we like you enough? It's like, it does, to me, I don't give a fuck. Frankly, for all I care, as a personal human being, I could probably think that that person migrating here might be an asshole. But you know what? Do they bust their ass? Do they work here? Are they paying taxes just like I do and everything else in between? Sure, then I don't care. There's plenty of assholes out there that exist. You think, you know, someone who's migrating here that might be an asshole is something for me to worry about? Or even one that has like a tiny baby criminal record, like they got a DUI in Mexico once or some shit. It's like, give me a break. Unless, like, you know, some dude literally on the run, you know, over some heinous crimes or some shit. You know, because we have the technology to be able to, like, figure that out with people. Where back in the day, you have, you know, like in the Ellis Island days and all that shit. Man, I'm going to cancel there. Like, where, at least at that time, it would be easier to hide and shit. Nowadays, not anymore. So if there really is like someone on the run or whatever and all this and that, it's like you got face recognition. You got other means of being able to, like, you know, find out who that person really is. They are going fucking haywire. Dang, Vito, you're going insane. One just got arrested for hellish charge against dogs. What, like some migrant guy? Well, how many fucking crazy MAGA conservatives or rural hick yuckle fucks in Arkansas and Alabama, who knows where else in the South and shit, or even places like Idaho, where that happens? Like with some random honky tonk white guy. I mean, one random migrant, that got caught doing that shit, which is fucked up. It's like, I think I'm going to rather look at my own domestic populace when it comes to that problem, more so than some migrant. I mean, that needs to be, addressed as well in the same seriousness. But, yeah, like there's Jane Sixers that have been caught with child porn. A few of them, actually. And caught with child sex trafficking and shit. Okay, guys. Jesus, y'all going... All right, hey, chill. Y'all going nuts. Jesus. Well, yeah, I read that part. Agreements from the people who routinely beat their kids and spouses. And probably has diddled like their niece or something too. I mean, that's like the problem. Like, there's no equality in how we address like these problems with the rule of law and when it comes to these standards. Because a lot, especially with this current administration, it seems like the standards of what we want to address when it comes to predators or drug trafficking or child trafficking, all sort of shit. There seems to be a massive contradiction and hypocrisy when it comes to this. It seems like they always want to address it, but look at the completely opposite direction of where you actually want to do to address these issues. Because they much rather, like, fucking look at, some trannies or, that gay guy or something. They'd rather look at that or some furry or whatever the fuck or, I guess in this case, some migrants or something. It's like, they're not the problem. Yeah, you're going to find, maybe one or two as an exception that do this shit, and you want to deal with them accordingly just like the rest of them. But ultimately, that doesn't mean that every single one of these people are doing that shit. So, I'm just talking migrants. I mean, I would just say, like, what would be the overall statistics of, like, migrants, illegal or otherwise? To me, that doesn't necessarily matter too much. Like, they're still migrants, and it seems like our administration doesn't really give a fuck one way or the other if you're legal here or not. Or have a full-on visa, or frankly, even a citizen where your parents probably aren't natural born, but you are. Like, they don't really seem to give that much of a shit. So, with that besides, like, I mean, I'd say what's this data on the rates of, child trafficking and sexual assault, shit like that, when it comes to children versus natural-born citizens that have been here forever, as citizens. Because arguably, and this is just across the board, when it comes to crimes, just period, the broader data collected and statistically shows that, illegal migrants, legal migrants commit far less and significantly less crimes in comparison to natural-born citizens, which to me seems pretty self-explanatory. If I'm born and raised in a country and I already know its laws or whatever, I can kind of take it for granted a little bit. I'm born and raised here and shit, right? While someone who's a migrant probably doesn't know everything, and they're going to probably mind their P's and Q's a little bit, especially if they did so in extra legal means of getting over here, right? They're going to mind their P's and Q's way fucking more in comparison to, someone like me who, whatever. I mean, there's probably a lot of laws I'm breaking all the time, but they're just, laws there to be like, now, be a good boy, basically. Like the no hats inside the school rule that, you might have gotten in elementary or middle school or some shit, that stupid rule. I don't think they do that anymore, but I know back in the day when I was in school, that used to be a rule, but it was like hardly ever enforced. It was more encouraged more than anything. Still was on the books though. On subject of liberals, you never, not Republicans on the issue. Definitely not. Difference also to racial profile. I mean, that's another factor too. Especially with how our current administration treats, this problem. It's almost like certain entities in the U.S. benefit from both drug war and exploitation of illegal migrants. Curious. Yeah. It is interesting, isn't it? And honestly, let's even address the illegal migrant part real quick. If we really want to look at what that real issue is, a lot of it is due to certain levels of bureaucracy and how long it takes when it comes to the visa process, including renewing them. There's a lot of people who come to this country and their visa expires and in the middle of the process of renewing it, and it literally takes fucking years at times, up to months to years. It's not a speedy process at all. And there are a lot of migrants and a lot of people that come to this country via work, but technically their visas are expired because of the process, even though for all intents and purposes they should just be renewed, because they're here under contract for work. And if anything, that's just another element of efficiency. These work visas should also be in tandem to, and automatically adjusted to whatever the work contract is for these workers, arguably. Because I know a lot of them, are temporarily here. Remember that fucking, what was it, a Hyundai plant that got, busted by ICE and, it was all, a bunch of Koreans and shit? Most of them, had their visas, active and fine. There might have been a few of them that had some, expired visas, but, they were in the process of trying to get them renewed and shit. And they were still in contract, as workers, contracted by their company to fucking work there. So it's there's a problem with our, visa fucking plans or visa, system versus how we tie it to work contracts as well. And there needs to be something to at least interlink them so they can at least be auto adjusted, to those contracts if need be. A Hyundai plant. I don't remember if it was a Hyundai plant or not. It was a Korean car plant that, an assembly where all the parts, are sent there and they're assembled and shit. And a lot of these Korean workers were there to help train and oversee and help with operations of the factory and shit. I think at the end of it all, I remember reading up why they were all there. I think there was meant to be a few of them within the workplace / management that were meant to be kind of permanently migrated there, at least via contracted, by the company, while most of them were there to kind of help, others, other, workers, train and assemble and shit like that and, stuff like that. I kind of forgot that, despite my playlist not being randomized when I add shit, it kind of is. I've not felt the need to go switch out to deal with that. Not yet, at least. I know at some point it's going to start changing the vibe enough to where I'm okay. But yeah, but anyway, I know I kind of forgot exactly all the details about what happened as a follow up with the plant. I just know that I think a large chunk of the people that were there got released. I just want to see where's that fucking. Are you nesting on it? Yeah, you are nesting on it. And you got a bunch of fur on your mouth, Jazzy. Ew. Damn it, bro. Yeah, I see what's up. Hi, buddy. I guess gotta charge it. Whatever. Concept of service makes sense because even in the US, if you travel far enough to other states, it's supposed to be amongst a different culture. Well, not just that, but fundamentally different laws too. I shit you not, bro. The fact that I can legally buy this shit right here, and not just the entire fucking West Coast, but I think even in Nevada and shit, and Canada. You know, even as an American citizen, I think I could even there legally buy it as long as I'm just of age. It's like, I mean, and you want to know what one state where I can immediately, like, fucking that, arrested for like 10 plus fucking years, that happens to be right next door? The shit fuck, chuckle fuck state of Idaho. In Montana has it recreationally legal right next to them. Every fucking state around Idaho, including Canada, has it legalized, and yet they are still not even medically legal. Even if for medical purposes, you're fucked. It's like they don't even have that in place, and it seems like, as far as I can tell and care, they ain't changing that anytime soon. Arguably, are going to be like one of the last like 3 or 4 states left to legalize it in this fucking country, unless the federal government legalizes it at some point in the future. Not this administration, but maybe another one. But perfectly legal to others. Yeah, like, because there are some fireworks that, you know, across the board are pretty much legal, you know, but there are certain ones that are illegal in certain states, or at least are very restricted. Like Oregon, you can't have anything that goes over like feet, you know, when it comes to your fireworks. That doesn't stop people from going to Washington, though, and getting some extra fireworks like M80s and shit like that. Because Washington has different laws. And also, there's reses not that far away either. In Washington and Oregon, you can go there too. Because those state laws don't apply to them. I mean, it's just one of those fucking things where it's like, I mean, it's, you don't want to have the officers find you, and usually they'll let you off a warning, be like, fucking, that better be the only one you had, you know, and you're like, you can check our supply, you know, because you want like one of your friends being like, you know, like, get rid of it. You know what I mean? You're like, you know, get rid of the shit. And then, like, you know, you just have like your regular stuff, and you're like, yeah, we already burnt the other ones. They're right there. But this is the last one. My bad. We're sorry. You know, they usually will just tell you to knock it off and just fuck off, you know, and just stop in general. And they don't want to come back because they will fucking, you know, go on your ass, you know. No hope for Idaho or Nebraska. You can forget about it. You forget about it. Yeah, I mean, at least for Idaho. You know, another state that I feel like will never ever legalize it is probably, you know, hold on. I want to like, well, I can't actually yet. Well, hold on, maybe I can, because I want to see which states still have it completely illegal, because I know Idaho is one of them. Texas has it medical, but frankly, it's possible, but I don't really think they're going to be recreationally legal really anytime soon. Probably sooner than other states. I'd say like Arkansas, because I don't think they have medical legal either. Um, I don't know, honestly. I just know Idaho is going to be one of those like last holdouts of like, fuck your weed. Why? We don't know, but fuck it. Okay, you want to know what's stupid? There's a lot of land in Idaho to where weed would grow perfectly, and it'd be just fine. And frankly, it'd make them a lot of fucking money. And arguably, there needs to be like, I guess you can't because of federal law, but there needs to be a way for like legal states to happen to have borders with each other, like the whole West Coast, right? California, Washington, Oregon. We're all legal states. What's the problem of us importing, exporting our cannabis to our states when it comes to farms and when it comes to expanding business? All right, there ain't no problem with that, arguably, but the federal government, because of their supremacy clause on this issue, overrides that idea. Like our laws, even let's say we did have something like that in place, it wouldn't mean shit because, I mean, I mean, if you got caught, you're kind of fucked. You know what I mean? It's not one of those things where there's full legalese with, which sucks because, like, honestly, like, so much of the cannabis industry would easily, like, did this thing fucking die again? Fucking charger port is like loosey goosey. But yeah, it's like something that honestly just makes so much fucking money, and you know, a lot of, you know, like cannabis industries, at least in Oregon especially, are like fucking got so much damn weed don't know what to do with half the time. I mean, you know, like, cause I know there was like the peak of that, like, bro, that there would be like fucking ounces full O's that would be like 20 fucking bucks and shit. Not so much anymore. It's kind of like kind of recalibrate back to like 30, 40, maybe 50, depending. But shit, I remember like for a fat fucking minute, it was like 20, 25 bucks, maybe 15, even though it's kind of some shitty shake shit, but whatever, it's still good, just kind of goes quick, it's shit like that. It's like, damn, because we just had so much of it. I mean, it's like, imagine just exporting that out, like at least in legal means, like the state, like has like different contracts with other states, via these cannabis farms and shit. When it comes to stuff like that, that'd be legit. Man, Canada got it down because those fucking provinces up there are doing shit like this. You fucking know they are. Oops. I mean, I know that provinces up in Canada usually have their own like laws, kind of more particular, outside of the federal law that they have there. Because like for example, I know like their universal healthcare system is different depending on the province you're in. Like you might get better care, in a different province versus another one, depending on how that province, funds and operates the broader Canadian healthcare system, which is kind of shitty in a way because it's not exactly efficient, arguably. And I can see why, at least when it comes to the whole anti-universal healthcare argument, Canada gets brought up a lot. It's because they're looking at the worst parts of the data from different provinces that, are kind of underfunding, or at least, undermine a lot of their, Canadian healthcare services and shit. Because I know that is something that happens, so it's like, I mean, I'm sure that at least, on the, cannabis issue, it's not too much different, but I imagine it wouldn't be too hard to, do that either way. I know one of these days I'm going to have to try their weed, though. If I find myself out in one of those, Kanukastani cities, I'm one of the first stops I'm taking is a dispo, and I'm gonna I'm trying their shit. I gotta see if it's up to par, because I will say, Minneapolis, you kind of let me down a little bit because your laws are a little funky and fucked when we got there, and they're still a little funky and fucked. Last time I checked, so get your shit together. Chicago, your shit's retardedly expensive. What the fuck? And it's not even like... It felt like, getting weed for the first time at a dispo in Oregon, like in like 2018 or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how it felt for me, where it's like, expensive. It's good, but I could get this now in Oregon in bulk for the same price for like a quarter. You know what I mean? It's like some shit like that. I'm like, this is kind of a little fucked. So Chicago, figure that shit out. And also your dispos and how you got it set up, it's kind of fucked. You can't even see the product or nothing. You can't even like know what you're getting. It's like, that's shitty. I mean, they gotta like amend some things with their laws, or at least with the whole state of Illinois, at least, because from my understanding, that's just how the state does it with their law. And I'm just like, damn, well, y'all almost had it. You almost had it. You're a little too strict for my taste with your bullshit. I mean, Washington. I mean, it kind of suffers from the same thing with like Oregon. It's like the California quality style weed is basically just expanding through the whole West Coast at this rate. I mean, and at this rate, I just say like if price is just a little just because of taxes or whatever. But I don't know. I'd pretty much put it in the same realm as like the rest of the bud here in the West Coast, which is the best bud. The best shit. Because we know what we're doing up here. And I actually mean that flex. I'm not even kayfabing it. This is why it needs to be federally legalized, because the entire West Coast would be a fucking booming industry for the whole fucking country. No longer would people have to do California tourism for weed and shit, or Oregon tourism and stuff. We could just import it to them. We could just give it to them. Just give them the weed dispensary trucks and just send them on their way. Wouldn't that be amazing? Hello. Again, because your dumbass shut off earlier. Because I still want to see which states have it completely illegal. Actually, I'll just go to my channel because I can see more next already has a wiki page for it. So I'll just go on my shit and do that. Map all states. Sweet. Bruh. I can't even click it. Dude, look at that. The link is right there. That's the link, and I can't even click the damn thing. Bruh. Well, I guess I'm gonna just have to... Oh, well... You sent it to me on Discord, but I don't have it set up on this yet. I forgot to do it, but I know what it is. I'll look it up. Wiki legal weed states. That should just kind of get me to the... Yeah, here we go. Pretty much, I found the same page, so it's all good. Okay, let's see here. So, all right. So there are states that have it decriminalized and medical, and then there are states that are medical but don't have it decriminalized when it comes to recreational use. So the states that have it, Jesus Christ, the states that have it completely illegal are Tennessee, Georgia, South and North Carolina. Well, no, North Carolina's decriminalized. My bad. So it's Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Indiana. I'm assuming, Wisconsin, Iowa, I believe, and then that is Nebraska, Wyoming, and Idaho. Which honestly, I'm surprised that Wyoming doesn't even have it like medically legal. Because I'm not gonna lie, like fucking Wyoming could be a fucking booming place for, at minimal, to start medical weed. Wyoming, get on your shit. Some Yellowstone OG. Come on now. Y'all got like Bison Kush. Come on now. Dude, Wyoming has a weird opportunity for like weed strains and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like creating some custom strains, you know, from other strains that have been around and shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That actually be kind of legit. Imagine just chiefing up some good old Bison Kush, bro. I guarantee you there's probably some motherfucker in Wyoming that already is growing that, and they're just waiting for the right time to get it all legal so they can just, like, give it to everybody, you know what I mean? Because, you know what's funny? I know for a fact, at least, you know, when it came to some of the initial startup farms and stuff like that, they were a lot of, like, old hippy-dippy types that, you know, were able to just, they had enough, like, side cash to, like, let's get this business going. We can get it, you know, let's start, you know, let's jump on it now before it's too late kind of thing. And some of them now, like these big farms now, like in, you know, major part of the industry, you know, at this point. Not all of them, but a lot, you know, a good chunk of them are. And I'll say, like, you know, fuck yeah. Keep the business alive even before, you know, it was legalized. That's what I also love about like breweries and shit like that. That show established since 1885 because you know for a fact that those companies were probably straight up doing some bootlegging and moonshine and shit like that. You know what I mean? You know, for a period of time they were doing that shit. Little under the table stuff for a period, you know, during the Prohibition era. Wink, wink. I also love how the maid, like Jack Daniels distillery, the main one, is like set up in a dry county, but the full building itself as like the taste testing and all that shit of the building set up in a non-dry county part of the state. Well, actually, I think it's in two different states. Actually, hold on, let me. God damn it, this piece of shit. Is it just a charger? It probably is, but whatever. Because I know, like, I'm pretty sure it. One state it is in is Tennessee for sure, but I think it borders another one. And it's like right on the edge. Just gonna double check.
Hello, Moto.
Oh my god, I wish it didn't do that every fucking time. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, so it's in Moore County, Tennessee, which is dry county. But I'm pretty sure oh yeah, the loophole. The distillery can sell commemorative bottles and offers tours, including a special dry county tour for those who don't drink, allowing visitors to experience the process without buying spirits at retail. Okay, so they have like a weird loophole, but I'm pretty sure there's like a chunk of that like complimentary stuff. I'm pretty sure it is in a non-dry county state just so they can kind of get away with that. I'm pretty sure. At least that's what I've heard, but I mean, at least there's a half truth for sure. I mean, it doesn't actually really specify, but it does say due to legal loopholes, they have taste testing and other shit. So, yeah, so they could buy bottles at a distillery's gift shop, White Rabbit bottle shop, and even buy adult slushies. Adult slushies? What? Um, can I learn more about that? Can I know more about that, please? Jack Daniel. Okay, so there's a website with distillery info. I want to know about these slushies. They have their own fire brigade. Okay, that's kind of cool. Uh, okay, so it wasn't until 1995 that the distillery was even allowed to sell commemorative bottles on location. Today, however, up to 6 different bottles are carried in a White Rabbit bottle shop, but restriction that each is no longer than 750 milliliters in size. Doesn't say anything about those. I want to know about these slushies. Slushy Jack, dude. I would totally hold on. I'm looking this up, dude. Oh my god, look at that. Holy shit. That looks so amazing. I would drink the fuck. It's a Coca-Cola float. Like, basically. Love Jack. It's Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey with Coca-Cola or cherry Coke and ice with lime or limeade concentrate, creating... Oh my god. 2 ounces of Jack Daniels, 4 ounces of Coca-Cola or cherry Coke, 2 cups of ice, and optional simple syrup. Blend all ingredients until smooth. Add more ice if too thin, or more Coke if too thick. Then serve with some cherries. That's the blender method. Oh, fuck yes. Oh, my God. Can I just yes, please, on that right now? I'm not even gonna lie. Dude, imagine that on a hot summer day, bro. Like, you're out on the fucking Willamette or you're, kayaking or some shit. And you're just like, shit. We know we got some hella slushies in that fucking, little icy that we got in there, our little cooler. Just whip one of those bitches out, put a straw in that, just in a slow period while you're just kind of cruising or chilling or just hanging out on the side of the river, just yeah, you know what I mean? Like shit, dude. That seems like it would just be such a nice, buzzy refresher. Because, a cola slushy already sounds fire as fuck. 7-Eleven with their Coca-Cola. I mean, we already know that that's just fire. But, I sees it. I sees it. Okay, I like my homeboy and his covers, but I'm not feeling it right now. Damn it. Okay, yeah. Is it getting to that part of the playlist? Hopefully not. Okay, no, it's not yet. Though I feel like that was a hint. So let's just start a few things Burger King does well. Unfortunately. I will say, weirdly enough, the last time I was there at a Burger King, years ago, it really wasn't too terrible. Definitely not like I grew up, with it being. And even then, I grew up in the area where it started going to shit anyway. Burger King was at its peak in the late 80s, 90s and shit like that. So we never really got the peak. And even then, it's just I think I just got lucky, honestly. And what's wild, depending on the location here in Portland, at least, I'd pick a fucking Burgerville over that shit. Because there are at least a few locations. There's actually one near the Moda Center that, as far as I've ever been there, the very few times when I just happen to be in the area and just want a quick bite or whatever fuck, or some shit like that, it's always been fucking consistent. Dead ass. And good quality, too. It's literally the one Burgerville that I've ever been to that has been consistent with it. I've been to other ones where they might have a hit or miss, and there've been plenty that are just shit across the board. But that one though, I don't know what they do, but they got their shit on lock over there. They got a system down. At least as far as I could tell, they'd certainly keep it fresh. That's good. And I know Taco Bell gets some flack and shit, but frankly, man, at least around here, I've had some, oh man, some hit and misses. I've had Taco Bells all over, various parts of the country and shit, but, I don't know, man, when it comes to the whole, explosions in the toilet shit, I've never have had that with Taco Bell, ever, so maybe my gut built different, I don't know, but it's just never been an issue for me. But, I know I have been some pretty gnarly ones, but I know for a fact there have been ones I've been to that have actually been pretty decent and consistent. There's actually one near my house that actually is pretty legit because there's been a few times where, an order's either been messed up or I would order it but pick it up, but then like the walk-in part and all this other shit is closed, and I'm like, well, damn. And I tried to like walk by the drive-thru, be like, hey, I meant to pick this order up. I ordered it and blah blah blah, and and they're like, oh, we never got it or we couldn't do it, this and that, shit like that. Fuck ups happen, but usually I would, go up to that same place with the sheet, show everything, and be like, hey, this is the, just want to let you know, blah, blah, blah. And they're chill about it. They're like, oh, yeah, you want like a free, freeze to freeze or soda or something? We'll throw like, an extra taco or two for you on the side too, because, like, they're like legit like that. I'm like, and they've always been like that. And I know that isn't quite necessarily policy stuff for them, but it makes them money though. It makes enough money to where I guess corporate, whoever, whatever, they don't give a fuck. Because I mean, and it weirdly enough, it's even fresher, especially because they like do it right, especially. I mean, it's not like I've had like fuck ups, to the point where it's just like bad. But sometimes they might forget like the nachos or forget like a taco or two, something like that. Little tiny things, and you just go back in and be like, hey, you forgot a couple things, and as long as you chill about it, they'll hook you up. That's what I love about that spot. As long as you chill, they'll straight fucking hook you up. There's like a few other ones that are around here too, and they're not really exactly the same way, but for freshness and quality level, like not equivocal. I'd say maybe slightly more hit and misses because they tend to be a little bit more busier and probably rush shit a little more and stuff like that. Because I know the one that's just right up the road over here is like one of the busiest ones in Portland in general. Like it just across the board. Like every time I'm passing by, there's fucking cars, on that bitch all the time. So, I mean, I guess depending, sometimes it might just be a hit miss because they're just cooking so much stuff in bulk and just setting it aside because then it's easier to just like scoop, boom, boom, do your thing. Instead of just cooking everything like as you're ordered, kind of shit. Talk about the super odd. Yeah, and even the very weird times they don't do it enough to where I'm like, ah, fuck that place. Like I said, they usually like, correct the mistakes and, hook you up and stuff. Oh, chunk. What's up? You soft lump. What's up, Vito? I see you over there. Like Taco Bell salad. Yeah, they should. Like kind of try to do like we're trying to be healthy alternative kind of stuff. I want to be against like a taco style salad. Why not? I mean, they could even make it like their generic shredded lettuce bullshit and a few other items. I don't care. I'd be down for it. What? Oh my god. Really, bud? Really, buddy guy? Aw. Aw. Crazy boy. Oh, back up. Back the fuck up. Oh, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Damn. Put in the boxes for packaging. Yeah, like like one of those little boxes or something. Get little bowls and shit. Oh, this little chunk. Oh, this little chunk right here. Get some chunky meats like this little galumph. Yeah. Who is, well, galumphing really hard right now. She's like, swaddle me. I would be picked up, I just would be swaddled. Vito. Oh my lord. No. Yeah, even your sister's kind of like, what the fuck? Oh, I saw what you were trying to do there, homie. Get your toy. Go get it. Go get it. I agree, Jazzy. Get your ball. Get your ball. Get your toy, boy. Get your toy. Get your bone. I don't think he knows what he wants to do. I think he's just confused. Goofy thing. Goofy little turd. Look at you, you goofball. Wah, wah, wah. When you bring some more Taco Bell ideas. I mean, there's not really too. I don't know. For me, at least, it doesn't really seem like much they really need to do because they already got like a pretty decent amount, like of what they have. I know this much. They definitely should be doing the Taco Bell pizza thing. That's for sure. I'd much rather have a Taco Bell bowl, like a salad bowl thing. I don't know. Without it like diverging too far away from the, from like taco related shit. I don't know. Well, to be fair, it's been a minute since I've been at the Bell, so hey, little galump. Why get rid of perfection? Well, because Taco Bell pizza is not perfection. It's like literally been rated like one of the worst items of fucking Taco Bell. Schwaddle. Big old softball. She's like, well, this is my life now. Guess I'm just kind of here. You just have such a tiny head. So small. Oh, good lord. You swaddle monster. You galump bean. You galump goblin. Big ol' galump goblin. Goofy little girl. I love it when she does that. It's just so fucking adorable. You shilly thing. That's like her little sound of frustration, honestly. It's so adorable. Never shows it. But she'll do that. Here, take a piss real quick. Be right back. Blah, 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 blah. Mumble flutes. There we go. Ah. So last time we had to talk about pizza. Like, probably when I was a kid, when I didn't know what was or wasn't good for me. Lito, you just nested on the speaker. You just nested on it. You love nesting on things, Suji. Here, nest on this instead. Get Vito. Crazy little bastard. Go for it then, it's waiting for you. Have you seen the food reviews of that shit? You know, like, what's his name? Like John Cho or some shit? It's always like, justified. You're like, is this justified? Hell no. You know, whatever. You know that guy? You know what I'm talking about? It's either like Cho or Show or something. It was like John Show or John Cho, something like that. I forgot exactly what his channel name is. But he pops into my feed like all the fucking time. Dude, he's reviewed it like a few different times, and it's always like, unjustified. Hell no. No? Okay, one, you gotta find this guy and watch his shit, because it's amazing. And two, I'm finding it. Oh, Show Po Cho. Okay. Show Po Cho. Taco Bell Pizza. I have not had a Crunchwrap in a fat minute. I don't blame you. I kind of feels that. Trying to find it here. Oh, no, that's not it. Well, I cannot find it, but he has reacted and food reviewed a lot of fucking Taco Bell items. But I'm not seeing the exact one that I am trying to find. You know what? I know of another guy that's done it. Let's see if we can find him. Can we all agree that turkey's overrated as a main course for the holidays? I don't hate stuff. It's pretty good, but if someone's like, hey, the dog getting into turkey, so we're having pizza, you wouldn't probably complain about it, huh? I wouldn't be upset. I mean, you know what's funny? That unironically kind of happens with Zukov once during Thanksgiving, but not with a turkey, but with a fucking ham. A roasted, like, bone-in ham. Because dead ass, I looked around being like, where the fuck is it? Thinking that, like, you know, oh, maybe, like, you know, the homie took it back home or something like that. But then I saw the, you know, the tray glass plate that we had for it shattered. Not like shattered, but, you know, broken into like 4 or 5 big chunks on the ground with a little bit of what is like, what I could tell is like some juice and shit. And Yeah, I'm just like, no one saw it. No, and there wasn't a fucking scrap, my guy. There wasn't a bone. There wasn't any meat slept. Nothing. Fucking nothing. And dead ass, bro, he was just popping some acid. I think honestly, the next day, you know that like story of his artillery shit. I'm pretty sure that was this what happened because he literally like recoiled with a massive like dense intense shit because he did that. So I'm just like, fuck, dude. Can't prove that evidence. I think his insane shit he was trying to release for like an hour that he finally did was evidence enough. And the fact that he was like wagging his tail intensely, like, am I in trouble, Dad? You know, large ham shape bulge and stuff. I mean, he did look a little extra fat for a moment there, for like a day or two, because he had to like digest it all. But yeah, he also was kind of not feeling 100% after all that either. Poor little bastard. Well, you know what? No, fuck. I mean, that's his lesson when it came to that shit. There it is. I bet beef Wellington's good for Christmas. I never had one, so I wouldn't know, honestly. I imagine it probably wouldn't be too terrible, though. Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. That's a little headline. Malona County declares emergency in response to ICE enforcement. So that's from KPTV. Hmm. Chair Jessica Vega Pedersen, what a name, on Friday declared emergency for Multnomah County in response to ongoing federal immigration enforcement by ICE. The county said the emergency aims to give greater flexibility and direction as it responds to the effects of recent enforcement activity. What the fuck does that supposed to mean? Maloney County is committed to using every tool at our disposal to support immigrant refugee neighbors, and this declaration strengthens our response to the cruel actions on terrorist friends throughout Malone County. Does that mean like the cops are gonna fucking like crack down? All right, hold on, wait. The county said emergency declaration will ensure Malone County agencies under the direction of the continue to adhere and comply with Oregon sanctuary statutes. Direct county officers and employees to perform or facilitate emergency services. It's kind of vague. Provide the ability to suspend purchasing rules to accelerate getting resources to the community. Request emergency assistance from the state of Oregon. Financial relief for affected families and small businesses. Expand access to food, housing, and mental health services. Support for local nonprofits and service providers responding to increased demand. Call upon the state government and Oregon's congressional delegation to publicly denounce all unconstitutional actions. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, let's call upon the state, not like force in the state via our own enforcement with our Maloney County law enforcement to fucking not only denounce but enforce the laws that when it comes to unconstitutional action. Yeah, let's just denounce and fucking like call it out. Let's not actually do anything about it, though. Prioritize legislation offering comprehensive immigration reform that aligns enforcement with our economic needs, humanitarian values, community realities. This is some lib shit, bro. That's fucking lib shit, dog. Really? I was hoping there'd be some actual like enforcement on that shit. Like, oh yeah, like find out what ICE agents are doing what, and crack down when it comes to them committing overt unconstitutional action and arrest them accordingly. Shit like that. Like, actually like do some enforcement on this bitch. Like, none of this, oh, let's call out, these unconstitutional actions, because, like, guess what, bitch? We already are doing that. Everyone's already been doing that, you fucks. Like, making some official county fucking, decree of a state of emergency or some shit ain't changing that fucking reality, bitch. Like, what's that actually gonna do? It's like, give me a fucking break with that shit. Like, that's already been a thing on a national fucking level. Like, people like Pritzker and shit have been calling this out. I mean, it's like, you don't, like, what the fuck is that supposed to do? Who cares? Yeah, we get it. We already been doing this. Get some fucking balls. A stern talking to leftists, we're much more lenient. We let you pick out which branch you want. Yep. No shit. We also let you pick out which wall you like to, make some art with. Libs are like, wag your finger and give him a talking to. We denounce and don't like what you're doing. Gonna do anything about it? Nah. Not really. Just gonna kind of like, bitch about it a little bit, and that's about it. Which I always, say, I'll like add a caveat, like, at least bitching and calling out shit, especially given people's means and whatever the fuck, like, that's not inherently a bad thing. But being a lib about it is just so fucking annoying. Because it's not like y'all just bitching about it. Y'all don't even want to, like, actively advocate for something that would have, like, a way to address the problem. Let's just, like, sternly talk and denounce these things, and hopefully maybe it's enforced. Like, fuck that. Start arresting these fucking Gestapo thugs. I'd like to see them in the Malone County Jail. Nice hotel. Thanks, I guess. I don't know if that was meant to be a compliment, but fuck it, thanks. Libs, Newsom ain't it. Dude, I unironically would rather have like someone like Pritzker or some shit. Or even AOC, and I got a lot of problems with her too. You know that Bible quote about being lukewarm? You just kind of figured that one? Yeah, dude. I spit you out because you're neither hot nor cold. You're lukewarm. Hold on. What's the exact fucking quote? We'll look it up. I always like looking up the Bible quotes on that. Revelations 3:16. So, because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. I know your works. So here's at least the Revelations verse 3:15-16, the ESV version. I know your works. You are neither hot nor cold nor hot. I wish you were either cold or hot. So because you are lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, I will spit you out of my mouth. I didn't think to link it to this till now. Well, you could kind of link that quote just in a vacuum to a lot of things, but I've always kept it in my mind sometimes when it comes to libs because they fucking are. even if like for conservative libs, when it comes to the more like, the ones that are a lot more chill with like the Bush fucking like Liz Cheney types and shit, even they're lukewarm as fuck. No one likes them either. They're just pushovers and just there as a means to an end for the more radical leaning ends of like, these, spheres and shit. Do you think people like Liz Cheney are like buddying up with the fucking libs right now because it's like, just, of a general interest of hers? No. It's overall like an outright means to an end, when it comes to her broader political agenda that she wants. It just happens that there's a mutual anti-MAGA agenda between that. So she's going to use libs to her advantage for it. Why do you think, despite, the fucking, MAGA movement and everything going on right now with that shit, the Republican GOP are still kind of okay with everything happening right now? Libs who know you are, you're a microwave dinner that's still somehow cold in the middle. Oh, and that's the worst. Because then you have to stir it around and then put it back in the microwave and shit. Yeah, fuck that. Which is actually an interesting but good analogy too, because like it also says that like, the system itself needs to be changed too. Like if a lot of the results ends up being like some lukewarm, like, a fucking microwave dinner that's hot and the outside edges that even to the point where it's burnt and the interior still somehow got ice in it and shit. It's just like, yeah, nah, like, I mean, at that point, it's also the system itself that's the problem. And that needs to be changed. Fire alarms need batteries. It's not mine. It's my buddy's who actually lives here, and he can't do anything about it because that's on the lease to not fuck with the thing, which is stupid. It's not my fucking rules. Or else I literally would have had that battery myself changed a long time ago, because I promise you, the thing drives me fucking nuts. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I have gotten muted in my head enough, but just like that, now that you brought it up, now I'm gonna start noticing it every like fucking 1 minute or whatever the fuck it keeps going. Because I'm not gonna lie, honestly, I wasn't even noticing it up until you just said something, bro. Just because, like, I think I was finally starting to. Plus, I think there's just at least enough background shit, hopefully, but whatever. Like I said, it's blame the fucking goddamn, like, landlords for this shit. And apparently I found out, like, in a lot of contracts with leases and shit, apparently that is, like, a rule. Especially when it comes to shitty landlords and tenant, when it comes to, like, like tenant bills, shit, like, and product managers, like, it kind of explains why, in a lot of cases, when it comes to, like, impoverished places, and you might see content for people who are, like, kind of poor that live in apartments, whatever, that have that going on all the time, that kind of explains it. Because, like, if they probably would just spend, like, however much, like $5 on like a V8 volt battery or some shit, V volt battery, and then just fucking replace the damn thing. But nope, they don't want to get the fucking however much fine or some bullshit, because they tampered with it. It's like, give me a fucking break. Let me have the right to just replace a fucking battery, you know what I mean? My bad. I mean, you're fine. At least you're not like, some of these other trolls that'll pop in fucking, going hardcore about it. I guess it's whatever. I mean, honestly, it's good, thing to kind of bring up too, anyway, in a weird way, just because, like, it is a good little fun fact, I suppose, learning about it. Because of my place, like, I mean, it's, for all intents and purposes, owned throughout the family and stuff. So it's like, if there's, a battery that needs changing, you just change the damn thing. Or if it's like an old fucking fire alarm, then you just replace it. You know, like, I mean, because you can get them. You can order them like a Home Depot or whatever, you know? So it's like, I mean, it's to me, it's just like, why not just let that be a normal fucking thing? Like, if, you know, especially if it's being brought up to the, you know, property owner or manager or whoever, and they're not doing fuck all about it, especially for a certain amount of time, there should literally just be a leeway being like, I got the right to replace it. You've literally failed as a manager of this property who's supposed to be looking after the shit, because that's why I'm giving you fucking money to rent to this place. You know, it's like, that's why I'm giving money to you renting out the place. I mean, it's so that some of that money is going to doing shit like that. I mean, that's the point, at least to a certain extent. So do it. Do your fucking job as a landlord, you lazy motherfucker. That's why I'm so vehemently against landlords, because of shit like this. And this area is pretty shitty, unfortunately, as it is. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad spot if it wasn't for the people that are shitty. And, you know, because there's not proper vetting that these fucking landlords do, and Frank can probably take advantage of it, they have these stupid bullshit rules, bro. Insane fucking goddamn rules that are retarded. I mean, I'm sure some of them have been brought up before, like, but it's just ridiculous. If I was a bit less shit, really, it must be Sherlock fucking Holmes. I like it when put up the beeping. Frankly, while I'm chilling here, got no much of a choice. I mean, even at my place, there's one that is kind of beeping, but I just took the battery out and it just stopped, because frankly, it's just like, I can just get it replaced. I'm just going to get, like I said, these V8 batteries and get at least the ones I know my place needs replacing, and be like, yo, here's some. Next time, you know, you're in person with the property manager, give it to them and be like, replace this fucking battery, please. Like, you're right here. Y'all have the ability to do that. It's part of the lease of either you or some other motherfuckers doing it. Do it. It's like, Jesus. And also, the one that's right over here. Here, let's. Where is it? Oh, it's right there. It's right there. That one doesn't even work at all. That one's just straight bunk. That one outright needs to be replaced. There's a lot of legal shit that isn't exactly legal. Let's just put it that way. They're not up to their proper standards when it comes to their shit. And frankly, Logan could fucking sue, and I'm kind of like, it kind of should, man. Like, see if you know, like, have a friend or like, you know, like someone in the family or somebody that knows somebody who's a lawyer, like who's really good as like a tenant's lawyer and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to just straight kind of egg them on, be like, you know, fucking do it, dude. Yeah, there's gonna be a cut, you know, obviously because you got to give it to the lawyer and stuff. But like, I don't know. Arguably, it might be fucking worth it. Akush has to raise more stink, you know, so to convince people. Oh, you met Logino. Well, yeah, I was about to say, man. Actually, speaking of Marcus, he's you know, actually either just arrived to Hawaii or is in Hawaii right now with his brother to visit family down there. I didn't even know about it until last night, but I was like, oh shit. Because what was funny is that me and Logan were talking about potentially, you know, seeing about a Hawaii trip, you know, next year or maybe or something coming up, you know, as like an idea. But I don't know. For me personally, I think I would love to go to Hawaii, but as like the Andersones or whatever, right? Like, you know, as like the brothers of every, you know, not literally like by blood outside of Marcouche and Rip City, but like, you know, yeah, it's like I kind of like, oops, yeah, I kind of like, you know, let that be like y'all's trip. Hawaii is always going to be there. It's not the end of the world. And actually, I think it'd be, yeah, I'd rather honestly for now maybe check out like Canada or something else, you know, like I'd rather honestly check out somewhere else for now more so than Hawaii at the moment. Like if I'm going to be doing, if I, have an opportunity to be, go on some trips, again for next year, then I'd rather maybe like in 2027 go to Hawaii or something. But this year maybe you want to try to swing for Canada, then force them to do stamps for me because I don't give a shit. I want them to if they have the ability to. I know it's becoming obsolete, but I don't care. I'm a boomer on that. I still want that fucking goddamn stamps, bro. 72 cents to their dollar. No shit. Their exchange rate's actually pretty decent. Fuck yeah. Well, there we go. That kind of gives me, a little something to think about. And plus, like, I know if it's like outright like a border city or a border town to the US border, sometimes it might take US currency. Weirdly enough, when I was in Iceland, there were a couple places, as long as you had like a debit card or something like that, you could use US currency and, it would just automatically exchange it, later. Which, funny enough, why? Because I noticed that while I was out in Iceland, I did some math, about that, and weirdly enough, it was actually kind of cheaper in a lot of times. Not every time, but there were sometimes I'm like, it's actually just cheaper to use the card versus the kroner that I have in my pocket. Like, just depending on where I was at. It wasn't every time, like I said, but there were certain shops and certain places where, weirdly enough, using your debit card or something like that via US currency was cheaper. Sometimes there's loopholes. So even if you, got like, some Canadian monies with you and shit like that, like some Kazakhstani, dollars and shit, I mean, not necessarily the end of the world. I'm sure a lot of those places would also accept, U.S. currency as long as it's via like a card or something like that, because it will just like automatically like transfer into the Canadian currency or their currency, via like the transaction. You're, just kind of adding a middleman instead of cutting it with, using Krona and shit. But like I said, weirdly enough, sometimes it's, weirdly like cheaper. Not by much, but you might save like 50 cents or a couple bucks here and there, something like that. And occasionally, those go a long way. Because if there are places that only use Corona and shit, you're definitely going to want to take out enough to make sure you have, like, some of that in your pocket. Because, you're just going to be shit out of luck if you just only have your card. If you use a credit card in another country, the card you use converts automatically to US funds. Yeah, exactly. Or at least to the funds of, to that business and shit. But yeah. Do go skiing. I'm not a skier. I do go snowboarding, man. And it's been fucking forever since I've been snowboarding, bro. I really want to get back into it so bad. I could have swore back in my like weed tubing days, I did a video of me up in the fucking mountains smoking a J, just chilling. I could swore I fucking did. Because I know for a fact I had a couple J's one time. One of the last couple times I went snowboarding years back, and I just kind of took a moment because I was just on my own, and the family friends I was with, took a break, but I was like, I'm still feeling like another round or two. I'll meet you guys at lunch. Just meet me over here and just hang out, whatever. Blah blah blah. So I eventually went up, for a bit, and then I just like, like kind of stopped for a bit, where there's like nobody around. I'm like, good, cool spot. I grabbed my lighter, and frankly, for the longest time, I could not get that fucker to light because of the wind and it's just cold. I'm like, eventually, I got it going, and and because like I was also trying to practice rolling at the time, I rolled them, so they were a little like, but I practiced enough because I made 4 of them, and I tried to smoke 2 that I thought, okay, these are more shittier ones. If these smoke enough, all right, then these good ones should be fine. And so I like grabbed like an old Marlboro pack that my dad had from like a trash bin or some shit that wasn't like fucked by ash or something, and I just grabbed that to hide it, put them in there with the lighter, just so they don't get cranked up and fucked up or whatever. Crack lighters for the win. Well, I wasn't, I wasn't aware of them quite yet at the time. What do you mean back in? well, back in my WeTube days, like when well, if you go far back on my like videos specifically on my channel, like back to like I'd say 2016 to 2018-ish, I was doing WeTubing because that was kind of like a little subculture big thing back in the day where like, stoners would make like YouTube content and shit, just talking about weed and stuff like that, reviewing strains and all, shit like that. I mean, so that's what I was talking about because that's what I actually, that's how weirdly enough this channel started, was doing shit like that. But anyway, the point being though, like I know I did that at least, when I was up there, but I'm pretty sure I had my phone, being like, "What's up, guys?" Just figure out, chill a little bit, doing some snowboarding stuff out in the mountain, kind of chiefing up, look at these views. Because I remember doing the video, but I will admit, I think because of the service being up there, obviously being fucking trash, it's the fucking mountain. I don't think I had it uploaded, and I think I forgot to do so if it isn't, but I'm pretty sure it should be. And if not, I got to make up for that. Like, one of these winters, if once I get back into doing that shit again, I got to get me and the boys, out there on the mountain for sure. Because I know Logan's always wanted to go either snowboarding or skiing. I don't think I'm pretty sure he hasn't done it before. I know Stefan or Ripsy has skied a lot. I don't know about his brother Marcos. My friend Ty, he has never done it before, but weirdly enough, I think he might be okay with snowboarding because I, for whatever reason, can't longboard or skateboard or nothing, but I'm actually with snowboarding. Now, he would be a cruiser where he's like, I'm just going to like kind of slowly go whoop, 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 just kind of be a little gentle and just kind of like gently go down the mountain. For me, I mean, there were times where I'm like booming, zooming those bitches. It took a minute, but after enough times going there every fucking winter for a while when I was doing it, eventually near the end of it, I was bobbing and weaving a little bit. Like I was even tempted, like, could I do like a jump? Could I do like a little boom, like some jumps and shit? Because I have unintentionally have done a few, have landed them before, and almost had an accident with one of my family friends when that happened. Actually, because they stopped waiting for me and I was like kind of speeding down, like catching up, and I was like, oh, there they are. And I tried to slow down, but I couldn't quite fast enough because I was gonna like bump right into them. So I just said, fuck it. And I like bumped my back leg, so I can, kind of just like hit, like just, like basically go just to the left of them and then stop. I even then I nicked one of their boards to where it lifted me up, and I actually legit got like a good foot or maybe foot and a half, and I was like, oh shit, and I landed, and I immediately like kicked back to stop, and I just just sat down. I looked back, I'm like, y'all good? Oh shit. I was like, I didn't mean to be so close like that. And they were saying, no, that was actually kind of cool. You got some air on that. And I was like, what? Damn, I didn't know this. It's like, oh shit. I was just kind of like, oh, need to stop really quick. Oh, damn. And honestly, I think the reason why I'm probably better with snowboarding, versus other like boards and shit is because your feet are locked in. And, depending on what you're dominant on, I'm kind of a little, omniverse when it comes to boarding, but I do have more of a dominance with, this side. But weirdly enough, I kind of like having my back foot, you know, usually kind of being the more forward foot. It's kind of hard to show, I guess, but I mean, because in a weird way, I can kind of like really, like bend or back forth, do turns better in a way, while my front one's more straight. Be, because I could do both, where the back is, straight like that and the other's forward, but in a weird way for me, it's a little easier to kind of do little turns and twists and shit like that. At least when it comes to, like hitting curves and shit. Or being like, oh, don't want to go down that 30-foot ravine. Nope, not doing that. Stop real quick. Going down this way. I gotta seriously get back to snowboarding again. Next season. You know what? It's a little early for a New Year's resolution, but you know what? That's it. If there's one that I guess I'm gonna have, that's gonna be it. I need to get back into snowboarding again, at minimal. If I can at least do that, I'll be happy. I know. The joke was implying you stopped smoking. Oh, well, whoosh. It went over my head. While I'm moving, you end up a pair of legs sticking out of the snow. That's happened to me once. I tried to stop, but then like I stopped right on the edge of like the path, and it was like kind of near this little like fork, and I literally kind of sunk in, and then just just like fell forward. I'm like, well, shit. I was able to like at least unhook the board and be like, all right, let me move that a little bit there, and like kind of bury it in this thing for a sec, and I'm like, all right. I eventually got myself out, and I kind of sat for a second in the middle of all the snow, and I just got my head poking out. I'm like, well, this is unfortunate. I was like, all right, well, use the board to leverage, get up, just kind of like, sit down right there, with the feet bindings, on down, because you don't want that sliding and flying away. So I just got up, and I just kind of sat there and reflected and being like, well, I'm glad nobody was passing by when that happens. And I kind of looked around and be like, no, I don't even care. These views are amazing. Give me a moment to sit here and check it all out, Then I just like hooked myself back up and just kind of gently cruised for a bit because I'm like, I don't want to do that again. Oh man, there was also one time where it wasn't really snowy. It was a little bit more icy on the slopes this one time. And I was trying to stop, but it kept like and like sliding. And I like did this weird slide where I like did a 180 and I stopped like because I kind of hit like at least in my butt, it hit like a chunk of snow, but my board didn't, and like it like verged my legs in a weird position to where it hurt, but it didn't like pop anything or crack nothing. I was just like, oh shit, and I just had to grab my board and be like, oh fuck, ooh, damn, Jesus, it's icy as fuck today. And I remember the next day being sore as balls, because of that. I mean, because man, like, there's one thing that I will say, like, if you're out on the slopes and it hasn't snowed in a minute, that icy shit sucks. If you fall on your ass, it hurts. You definitely want to go on days where there's some nice powder. That's for sure. And I know some resorts, like I know with some places, like with Timberline and Mount Hood Meadows, at least out here, they do have like these little snow machines where for certain places where they know that it's kind of like tight when it comes to like turns and shit like that, they will at least put some extra like fresh powder with this like like snow machine stuff that they have, because especially at least on days where there's not fresh powder, you know they want to at least have some parts of the track basically, or at least some parts of the slopes powdered enough, because over time eventually it'll kind of like spread out and get kind of condensed and compressed into the slopes eventually. Not every spot, but it gives better control, especially when it comes to certain turns and shit. Because there are definitely certain spots, if you don't have shit like that, when there's not fresh powder out, like it can unintentionally be kind of dangerous. Especially if you're inexperienced. That's it. Probably won't bring it up tonight, but I know one of these days I want to bring it up to the guys. I'll be like, hey, yo, this next winter, how'd y'all feel like, trying to hit the mountains, for like skiing slash snowboarding and shit? We don't even have to like do camping shit necessarily. And even if we did, we could lodge it up out there too. I mean, we if we wanted to. I mean, I've never actually have done like an all nighter lodge thing out there and shit because we could like show up, do snowboarding, skiing, like for a bit, lodge it up, and then do it for a little bit more for like a couple more hours. Like for the next day, and before it's sundown, just leave. Something like that. Because I know that places like Meadows and Timberline do offer shit like that. So, or even something like Ski Bowl too. And Ski Bowl's a little bit more basic. I mean, I like it, but I'm a little, it's not as intense with some of the slopes because it's not as high up on the mountain. And also where Meadows is, it's like not exactly right on Mount Hood. So, it's like, it's fun, but yeah. Timberline and Meadows is more fun. Snow days, Christmases. I know, right? I mean, we don't really get too much in the valley, but go east out enough out in those mountains, you get nice fresh snow and stuff. It's so nice. That's why I want to go back into it again at some point, man, because it'd be nice. I know for sure I'm definitely gonna want to get my legs back in shape for sure, because I know for a fact that like for the first few times when I was doing it, the first few times I would be doing it, like oh my legs would be burning at the end of it all. And frankly, I loved it though. I enjoyed it because like if they burned enough, you could just kind of stop and sit for a minute and just be like, damn, all right, it's gonna be chilling for a bit. And then just kind of go back on your little routine again. Another thing I would love to actually kind of do in Mount Hood is actually like climb the peak of it. Because I know, weirdly enough, that it's not like super difficult, but I mean, it is. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I mean, I know that they do have like regular, like expeditionary, like little tours and stuff to like climb to the peak of Mount Hood and shit. And I'm not gonna lie, that'd be fucking dope as fuck to do. I mean, like, and also I wouldn't mind doing that with like some of the other mountains too, because I know my mom done it once. Funny enough, for a wedding shoot, because I don't know why. Like it was back in like just after I was born, so it was probably like late '90s, maybe early 2000s, like double odd or '01, maybe '99, something like this, so somewhere around there. But she had this fucking wedding that this couple wanted to do on Mount Hood, but they didn't just want any wedding. They wanted like on the fucking peak. They had like some stuff going on, like I think at I forgot, maybe Timberline, I think. But then they got one of those like snow tractors, to go up basically to the peak and shit. Because you don't necessarily need to like hike it and expedition it. You could take a snow tractor up there basically. There's from what I know, there is like a path up there to do that, and they basically in different turns went up there, and my mom said that was like the most hardest fucking wedding because like obviously there's not really much oxygen up there, and being a little bit more of a heavy setting woman, she was a little, oh shit, damn. But she did it though, and I remember seeing some of the pictures, and they're really fucking amazing pictures. But like, and also it's like that old like film style pictures, not like digital shit either. So it's like, she also had to like have her own studio to like do the old school way of like getting them all processed and shit too on top of everything. It was pretty cool, especially with those old photos stuff. I mean, like Because honestly, I mean, I wonder what was in their head to think about having a wedding up there, honestly, because I get it, but because it's cool as fuck. But I mean, imagine the wind and shit like that. You know what I mean? You know, like imagine all that shit where like shit's flying. You got like, and everything. Like, I mean, the conditions must have been just perfect, for shit to be the way it was. Like, I would have to assume. Winter needs more imagery outside of Christmas. I mean, winter, spring, you got a bunch of flowers, beach waves, falls, leaves, pumpkins, but after snow, what do we have? Snow, sometimes sunlight hitting the ice looking kind of pretty. I mean, we need what? I mean, I'm maybe this is like some of the influence of the sportism stuff or whatever you want to call it, for my friends, but maybe skiing and snowboarding and shit like that. Maybe like bobsledding and stuff. Like maybe or like fucking like I mean like Alaskan fucking husky sleds and shit. I mean we need more stuff like that, to kind of represent winter. Nice, good, cold, wintry, evergreen, forested, freshly snowed in, places, shit like that. I mean, there needs to be a little more, yeah. Because it always seems to just go straight to like holiday stuff with snow and some ice and makes it look cute and pleasant. It's like, yeah, cool. Let's have some other just regular shit on top of everything. I don't want to say much, but that guy over there is giving me a fucking look right now. She's giving me that. Vito, you just walked all over your sister. Oh, what was wrong with y'all? What's wrong with you, Vito? What the hell? Your poor sister. Oh my god, you are fucking. Why are you trying to nest on her head? What did she ever do to you? She is upset. And you're doing this shit right now? Bruh. Get your ball. Get that ball. Get it. Go get it. Goofy dogs. One thing when it has over there since it might give you a day off. Yeah, pretty much. Or if you're lucky, get some holiday pay. Might get like some fucking what you call it, fucking maybe some a shorter work day. Show up at the same time, but it's cut down a little bit, so you get to leave early. All that shit. Oh, this is adorable. Look at this. Aw. Take a pill real quick. I'll be right back. Whoa. Maybe one of them will walk by my space. Oh, no, Vito wants to follow me. What are you doing to Zuko? Don't be following me. honestly were there the whole time. My home. Go get it. Oh. Jesse wants to try to get it too. Well, get Jazzy. Get him, Jazzy. Get him, Jazzy. Get him, Jazzy. It's pretty strange thing you see in nature for me is something about the cold that makes the stars seem brighter. It does. Like on a clear night, winter sky, like even with light pollution, it does make kind of like the stars kind of pop a little more. I would say that, but since you mentioned it, for me, in a way, like I kind of want to think about this because it's going to be a nature thing too. Um, I would think honestly, like maybe not because of locally here, but a lot of like the little winter creatures that happen to be out, like an Arctic fox and or like shit like that. Just like a lot of the animals in nature that kind of takes a little bit more of a this is our time to shine, bitches. Kind of moment. You know what I mean? Because it's like they're around during the other times of the season, but like their peak usually is like during the winter and stuff because that's when they're like out and about while a lot of other critters either like migrate or fucking hibernate for the winter and stuff. So I mean, there's that, and plus, I mean, it wasn't during winter, but Iceland had a really cool beauty with like when it comes to like even looking at the ground too, with like the lichen and the flowers, like a lot of cool winter flowers and lichen and shit like that. I mean, honestly, for me, I think it's just nature in itself, during the winter time. For me, I have at least when it comes to the, more northern hemisphere and stuff, like, and that's why I honestly love to call Oregon my home and shit like that, because there's still like a, like, evergreen beauty, that is constant year round, even during the winter that pops, where, a lot of other stuff are, dormant, like, so there's kind of a cool little beauty to it. Another thing too, I know you're not much of a spider guy, but every now and then when you find those like pregnant or like, big orb weaver girls, that are making their webs and they're doing it a little bit more slowly so you can really kind of see their precise nature of what they're doing. That there's some cool stuff about that because you can really like see their geography or geometry that they're doing. I'm just like, whoa. Just shows like how really intelligent those little fuckers are. I'm just like, damn. Because during the spring and stuff, like, I mean, there are a lot of them and stuff, but like during winter, yeah. I mean, like, I'll find, orb weavers doing their shit around here. They tend to be slow, and not doing their shit into the same speed that they normally would. But yeah, like the big girls that, are pregnant or, nesting, their shit and stuff. Like, yeah, every now and then you'll still find some around here with golden orb weavers and shit. It's not often, but I mean, you'll still find a few of them. I think it's because they're so, they're big enough to where, they can kind of, you know, handle some of the winter and shit. Oops. Goddamn spider thritis. Spider thritis. Honestly, I know there was one I saw building a nest outside the other night. Actually, I don't even need to charge this anymore. I might as well take a quick little peek, see if it's still chilling or something. I saw it make a nest right over here. Whoa! Hey! Damn, y'all. Get quiet. Oh, well. Oh, hey, yeah, the nest is still here, but look. Here. Yeah, she's right there. Oh, yeah, oh, she's pretty. Yeah, but she a big girl. What the fuck are y'all getting into? Her nest got a little messed up. Not much of a nest anymore, but yeah, she's still there. It's still fucking mid-December and I'm still seeing roaches. Dude, I don't know exact temperature out here, but dude, it's like probably the high 40s, like low 50s, dude. Vito, what are you doing? You goober. All right, come on, y'all. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I'm just wearing this and it's like I should be wearing more. It's like warm as hell for December. I mean, it's cold, but not December cold. It feels like fucking October cold. Or like, very late September night cold. Lack of insects. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's another factor too. That's another beauty of it all. You don't really have to deal with as many bugs. Even if there are some around, it's not the same bullshit they have to deal with. And if anything, they're usually the bugs that, aren't really a pest. You might get like a little nip fly or crane flies, maybe a beetle or something, a little shit like that. But you're not gonna like get like, fucking mosquito and other bullshit. Though, knowing climate change, that might change because I know Iceland officially, for the first time ever, not that long ago, now has fucking mosquitoes. Ain't that fucking awesome? One of the few places in the fucking world that didn't have goddamn mosquitoes, and now they got mosquitoes. Fucking lovely. Like, it's outright confirmed. They know there are mating pairs that live in fucking Iceland now. It's like, it's too late, bro. Genie's out of ball for Iceland. They're cooked. They're about to get hit with malaria and shit, bro. November was colder than this. Weirdly enough, it did feel that way for me, too. I know, like, throughout the U.S., like, during the fall and even during this season, like, the East is getting a little bit more of a winter hit. So you're probably feeling the edges of that shit way more than we are over here. But, like, even then, November felt a little bit more weirdly, not, like, significantly colder, but it felt a little bit more, a little more nippy. I mean, and you know what's weird? Like watching some streams from like back in like September or even October, bro. Like I was saying, oh, we might have a harsh winter, and I guess harsh in the sense of warmth. I didn't think it'd be like fucking. I thought there was gonna be like some snow and shit because I really was thinking like, ooh, it's getting nice and kind of breezy, even for the fall season. But nope. It's like it was like the exact opposite. This is why I'm not a weather reporter. My predictions are pretty much the exact opposite when it comes to weather. Strangely, I'm good at like predicting weird political shit sometimes. Like I've had plenty of times where I'm like, this might happen or this and that, blah blah blah. And I'm either like damn near on the ball or pretty much on the fucking ball. Because even if I'm like kind of near the ball, like enough, it's because like of the general deets, and I think like, oh, and maybe it might go specifically this way or another, but it quite doesn't, but it's close enough. I'm just like, shit. So I mean, I'm gonna predict that shit a lot of times, but not weather. Apparently, I'm really shit at that. And that's why I watch, people like Ryan Hall, like the Weather Report YouTube channels and shit. Because they're more smarter about predicting and figuring that shit out better than me. Can I help you? I'm feeling a little nippy for some foo-foo, so how about this as a plan B to beat a teeter? You are impatient. You don't even care. You're just like, I don't give a fuck. Kayak me. Like, get over here. No, we're not doing this. No, over here. Come here. Manhandlage. Why are you trying to bring a pillow with you? What are you doing? You've nested and mounted a pillow in the midst of all this. Home. I'll finish the brew and chill for a little bit longer, which ain't gonna take much time. And then what we're gonna do? We're gonna kayak you. And then I'm gonna get some food. But you need to be patient. What? Fucking little piglet. Get your ball. Get your ball. Get your ball. Smacking it around and looking back at me ain't gonna change my thought process on this at all, bro. Really? Seriously? Ah. Look at this belly! Full of floof. No. You shall submit with belly. You shall submit with this belly. This belly has been submitted. And you shall embrace the belly drum. I can tell you, like, mostly love this, but you still kind of morally hate it. Goofy boy. Oh! You bean! You crazy boy! Get your ball. Get your ball. Get him, Jazzy. 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 Vito had a little bounce on that one. Whoa. Okay, now I got good Jazzy. I said good Jazzy. I didn't. Hold up. Hey, yo, that didn't mean go fucking extra. Crazy bitch. Hey, yo. Get Jazzy. Hey, beat Jazz. Whoa. Hey, no, get over here. Oh my God. Y'all are crazy. Y'all crazy. Whoa. Hey, get over here. No, we're not doing that. Oh. Yeah, Jazzy. I don't care if you bring something. Fuck it. I just up, Jazzy. Kalump. Chunk kalump up. Or that works too. Oh my lord. Y'all are crazy. Oh my god, that man, Vito, why are you doing that? You're supposed to catch it midair and you didn't. Get it, Jazzy. Don't be staring at me like that. You have to kill it. Get it. Get it, Jazzy. Get it. Get it, Jazzy. Hunt it, Jazzy. Get Jazzy. Hunt it. Hunt Jazzy. Get Jazzy. Hunt. Hunt Jazzy. Hunt Jazzy. Get it, Jazzy. Hunt Jazzy. Get it, Jazzy. Get it. Get it, girl. You are lazy when it comes to toys. Don't be bringing it back at me. Kill it. Hunt it. Hunt Jazzy. Hunt Jazzy. She is incapable of understanding of it. You have a Discord. It's a short. Damn it. I gotta find another means. It's a short too. Fuck. That's gonna throw everything off. Bichs. Give me Jess. What is it? Is it worth it? BRB. Well, duh. I'm just wondering if it's worth the BRB. You know what? No one it probably is. We'll see. Oh, it was kind of cute actually. I saw what it was, and hey, I had my playlist set up, and now it doesn't want. Bitch. Wait, hold up. I refuse to allow this to be a thing. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay, there we go. Funny enough, that actually did give me an excuse to randomize the playlist too. The most unserious animal ever. The sea lions. I mean, yeah, and also seals too. They're really the most cutest little unserious little things in the world. That's why I love the Oregon coast, because, you know, sometimes of the year you can find them, you know, just kind of chilling. I was actually mentioning about this, you know, I think, yeah, the other stream not that long ago, you know, last night, I think. Then was to make, I know, dude. They're not like sea puppies, you know, but they are pretty much equivocal. They're like almost like a weird like sea hyena where like, I exist, I don't know I do though, but it. They're so derpy and cute though. It's the funniest thing. Yeah, it's galumphing. I'm pretty sure galumphing is the same for sea lions as much as seals. That's why I love, you know, calling Jazzy a little seal that galumps occasionally, because she does when she's just kind of laying, or she wants to be swaddled or like snuggled up or whatever. She will like, cause she'll kind of galump herself into position and shit, dude. It's so cute. Ever seen one break dance? I think so. I mean, they do have like cute little dances and shit. I know there are, you know, ones that are like kind of trained and domesticated-ish, you know, but I mean, in the wild, they even do like cute little dances and shit too. Oops. Not a thought behind those eyes. Definitely not. Nothing but just, smooth brain. All thoughts just roll off the head. Those orange cats have a brain cell. Yeah, they have like a singular brain cell. And even then, it just ping pongs around like a crazy little fuck. And it's like, it just pretty much, exudes exactly what, their feelings and their premise are, pretty much. Crazy little balls of chaos. You got so much fluffito. You love all that floof being scritched, yes. Those deep scritches of the floof. I love how you just bury your whole head and neck into all of it. You're like, yes. Yes. He's just in bliss now. Dude, he's loving these little massages. Oh, he's a boy. Yeah. Oh, the massages of your head. Look at him. He's like, oh shit. The massage. Oh. Oh. He literally wants more. Oh, he wants more. Head scratches, yes you do. You fucking love the shit out of this. Oh my god. Between you and Zukov, you love the fuck out of your little muscle on your face, right in between your eyes being scratched. Y'all love it. The boys, y'all just love it. Yes, y'all do. Get that ball. Get the ball. Get it. Get it, Vito. You obviously just want something else. I know what it is. Oh my god. He's a persistent bastard. At least Jassie's just like, I'm all play. Oh, that's all I give a fuck about. Can I help you, sir? His silly little like licks while he whines, like it's so funny. You're such a silly boy, man. Such a silly boy. I'm almost done. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, little Vito boy. This. Just this.
Are you just a galump? Are you a galump? Cute little head tilts? Are you a sweetie pea? Vito's so jelly, Jesus. Jazz is just so patient, just chill. Look at her little stance. Her cute little stance is so adorable. Get Jazzy. Hot and jazzy. Vito, quit being a derp and get it. No. Wow. Alright. It's like, you're gonna try to snag this from me, onk? You're gonna try to take that from me, onk? Oh, that face. That little face. Oh, that face. Oh, that cute little cork of the eyebrow. Oh. So cute. Oh. Oh. Okay, what the fuck? Oh, you're just trying to get cuter and cuter with this, aren't you? Well, this is a highlight now. That was just too fucking cute. Oh, that little pretty, patient little princess face. Little queen. Can I help you? You're licking my phone, let alone my fucking hand. Oh my god. Excuse me. He's pawing my phone. Buddy. Excuse me, my G. Get over there. What's wrong with you? Hey. Oh my god. Lay down. Go. No, you all right. You're getting too impatient with this shit. Finish. Go. No. Go. God damn. Poor Jazzy got like fucking assaulted. Little chunk. Is already turned on you? Of course he is. That's how Vito is. No. Lay down. Go. No. Cage. No. Go. No. Vito. It's open. Cage. I'm not gonna fuck with it, but I make him go in there. He needs to chill. He needs to chill for a sec. What did I just say? You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Just chill. Damn. There you Vixoxalon, conqueror of 10,000 worlds, and once I escape this four-legged form, I will unleash harder than your pathetic planet. Jesus. I thought Zukov was, potentially that guy. No wonder he acts more like a princess, because he's the heir to the throne. He's an heir. Because, in his empire, the Intergalactic Empire, the women aren't the empresses or the queens and shit. So Jazzy's, fine. You don't have to worry about her, shit. I like how I made it sound kind of Russian. Well, at least with Zukov, he kind of is. I named him after Gregory Zukov. And strangely, he does have, like, a weird personality, kind of weirdly tangential towards his. So, might as well be. Thought comment that. They got a fucking veto. Fucking. He'd be more Italian, especially of his name, but knowing his imperialistic ventures, I kind of see where it can come from.
Mephisto. Well, yeah, I kind of figured it would mean him. Though for him, it would be more like, I don't know, maybe like an imperial, like. Well, let me try to face it with a different accent. How dare you! We also conquered 10,000 roads, and once I escape this four-legged fern, I will unleash hell upon your pathetic planet. I swear to God, if that also sounds weirdly like Russian or Slavic or some shit, I'm done. Is it just because that we like think of like imperial fucking like like empires and emperors and motherfuckers? I leave that shit slightly Arabian to me. Oh, now I got a little Arabian bent. Well, fuck me, I don't know, dude. Really enough, I was trying to go for more of a Palpatine-esque vibe with that, but there's a lot of random shit that was I collected from the tree. Get this nice little bit of amazing just load up. All that shenanigans. So I don't mess with talents because they use hand gestures and be like, oh, the shit, the magic. I got to get out of here. I know, right? I mean, that's what I kind of love about it. I mean, I will admit, I will do that sometimes myself. And, you know, like, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, it is a part of the body language of human language, broadly. And it is very universal. Like, you know, even if you're not completely understanding everything that someone's saying, sometimes the hand gestures kind of help give you an idea about what they are at least still talking about, even if you can at least, you know, get a gist. You know what I mean? Because, like, let's say you got someone like pointing at you, and you can, you know, you can infer enough to where they're probably shitting on you, and they're like, yeah, you know, whatever. That's enough of a body language first of like they're fucking on you. You know what I mean? Or being like, yay, you know, blah blah blah. You know, there's body language that comes along with that, you know. And I get it though, because I mean, even then, sometimes I don't even know, like, because it's just I'm just using my hands. They're just kind of going around because I'm talking, you know, and it's just like, what are you trying to refer with that? Worst things they have in our arsenal, old ladies with very bony fingers. They like to jab at you. Oh yeah, they like to poke at you or like touch you a lot. Oh yeah, I'm not very physical. Oh, I mean that's not quite true, but when it comes to certain physical touch, I don't like it. And those little like pokes and jabs and random little touches like that, I don't like. And you know what? I love my Logan, but dude, I swear to God, there are sometimes, especially like around the time I'm like, all right, I just want to chill and just kind of like, whatever. And then he'll be like, he'll do stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, do you mind? Like, I'm trying to chill. Like, what are you doing? I know it's not like in, you know, some aggressive / like hostile means or whatever. So I don't care too much, but it's like, oh man, like chill. Like the first time is fine, but doing it off and on for like the next 30 minutes is a little annoying. It's like stop it. I know why he does it though, because he likes to kind of get a little rile out of me. But it's like I can't help but not react to it. It's like, because it just genuinely irks me. But at the same time, I do like physical touch as well, but it depends on what the fuck it is. And I don't like those type of touches. Like, if he was like, hand on shoulder, me like, you were bro, or whatever the fuck, or some shit, like, or just had the hand on the shoulder or whatever, and that was it, whatever, and just no explanation about it. At that point, I wouldn't really care. I just think, yeah, he's just being homey about it, whatever, you know? Like, but God, sometimes it's like, I'm just like, you motherfucker. I mean, in a weird way, I could kind of see it being like kind of a weirdly brotherly thing, though, because I could kind of see with like TJ and Scotty with like DFF, they do that shit with each other. Me and my brother have done that to each other before. I mean, you know, it's I could kind of see where it comes from. That's why I don't really make that much of a big deal out of it. Get my little irk, but it's an irk, you know? Like, it's not like the end of the world because I have an irk. God damn, get that fucking hair out of here. Jesus. What's that? Oh, yeah, right. I guess collecting the last little bit of this pile did not help with the fucking fur problem. Boo. Jesus. I like took a quick little side glance at it, and I like saw like all these hairs popping out of this damn thing. Jesus. All right. Well, fuck me, dude. I don't want none of that. Get, bitch. There we go. There's like one left right here. There we go. Damn. But, you know. Going on for, we've been having like some long ass streams for a minute, so I think it's, you know, a good one to kind of chill, you know, and not make it such a long one, you know. So I'll hit this last little bit and kill the rest of this little brewski too. After, you know, reading this chat and reacting to it, of course. I love that peppers develop spiciness. Like, yes, now we will deter any and all predators. And then came along, man. Dude, I know, right? What's weird is it does have like a negative thing. Like, even for me, dude, I had some gnarly like shits that fucked my gut up because I had a lot of jalapeno last night with the jalapeno pepperoni pizzas and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And not enough to dilute the jalapeno. So, I mean, yeah, bro, dude. I mean, like, I don't know what it is about man, but we are like challenge accepted, bitch. I've eaten a ghost pepper before, bro. A few different times, like chunks of ghost peppers. Like, dude, like, I mean, we look at shit like that, despite it unironic not being necessarily great for us, you know, when it comes to like the immediate effects and shit. But I mean, we just like, we love some of that capsaicin, like peppery spice. But I do, dude. I don't give a fuck. You know what? If it fucks my gut up, I don't care. That's the consequence I'm willing to take, man. I just yearn for like the gut of like, you know, some man in like New Delhi or like fucking, you know, Canton or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where their bland dish really like some like the most basic of spicy shit that white man can take, where we're like, I yearn for that gut because I look at shit like that, I'm like, fuck yes, but I don't got the gut to be like handling their spicy shit. You know what I'm saying? Where to them, that's just fucking nothing.
They might, miss out on certain things like salts or butters and stuff like that. But what they lack in certain things like that, they make up for the spice and other shit. It's like, yo, that's what I mean, I yearn to just like handle shit like that and be like, yeah, I might crack a little quick sweat. I mean, be like, whoo, damn. But I sit there, I'm like, when it comes to like a curry or something, or like, some spicy wings, I'm just like, just without a fuck in the world, bro. Because, I mean, I'm not quite there yet. I've yearned for it because I love me some spy. But, I mean, to the point where friends will even tell me and family even will say I overspice shit sometimes. So I have to like lighten up my spice when I make like a bulk of something. And then when I make my serving, I spice the shit out of it and like in my own bowl and stuff. Cause I'm like, I love spice. A little too much, apparently. To the point where it overrides any flavor of the food. Weaklings. I know, dude. That's what I say. Weaklings. Peons upon thee. Peasants merely under the foot of my boot. I will never forget the time that one Thanksgiving, my brother literally like looked at my plate, which had a variety of stuff, mashed potatoes, some gravy, a lot of stuffing because I'm a man of my stuff and I love me some fucking stuffing. And I will not hear any argument against such. But and then like turkey and the fixins. It's bread roll, beautiful buttered bread rolls. And I put a little garlic powder on top of those bad boys, just for a little, you know what I'm saying? But I would put so much salt and pepper and other seasoning and shit in the midst of my plate. My brother one time literally looked at me and he's like, your food is like 80% seasoning, isn't it? And I just like laughed at him. I was like, no, I'm just not a bland white boy that can't handle seasoning. I love seasoning. I want my spice. Because I even put some Tabasco on there and stuff. Like, because we had Tabasco bottle. I was like, I want a little bit of that mashed potato. I want a little bit of that in my turkey. I like spice my fucking shit up. And my brother was like, dude, 80% of your food is just fucking spice and like seasoning. And I'm like, at least a bland white boy that, I was like, I kind of threw it back at him. If my nose is running and sweating, I'm in a happy place. Facts. Exactly. See, if I'm not getting like a little like, pores cleared out and being like, ooh, getting a little sweat, then it's not spicy enough, man. Like, unless I'm getting that shit, it's not spicy enough. I like hot sauce better on turkey to gravy, as I have said before. I agree. Well, I like a little mix too, to be honest. Like a spicy gravy. Like you get your gravy, your mashed potatoes, whatever, but put a little spice on that afterwards. Mix it up a little while you're eating it. Yeah, dude. Just fucking scorpion infused cheddar right now. Fucking bomb. What brand? Can you like photograph like the package if you still have it so I can like keep an eye out? I dead ass will eat the fuck out of that if I could find it, dude. What? Scorpion infused cheddar? I'm not sure if you can find it. Oh my god. So it might be some shit I have to order online, maybe. Fuck it. I'll keep an eye out for it. If it's actually, not expensive, I'll order it. I don't care. Send me like a DM of like, what the brand is and stuff, and I'll look out for it. If I can't find it, I'll order it. I'm sure I can order it, dude. I don't see why I couldn't. I mean, if I could order liquor online and have it shipped to me and like ammo and other bullshit, like I can get cheese ordered. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see why I couldn't. Fuck it. I'm kind of
strangely enjoying the conversation just a little bit. So yeah, I'm doing a little bit. I'm just gonna use my fingers. Damn, biggity fashionable last little bowl. Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck was that? Was that like a burp attempt or a hiccup? I think that was a burp. Yep, yeah, it was a burp. It was a hiccup. I don't know why my friend, got paranoid off of this shit. This like 3 bears. Because for me, I'm digging it, but better for me, honestly. This guy his stash. I got my stash. That shit works. I will say that like lemon gelato is good too, but I have to grab it next time. If I don't see my deceased relatives are fire. No shit, dude. I mean, like, if I don't see, like, like, my life flash before my eyes while I'm eating spicy food, it's not spicy enough. You know what? I mean, I know I'm not, qualified enough, but, dude, if I could do that hot wings challenge, that, like, YouTube channel that does the hot wings and shit, I would fucking do it in a heartbeat, bro. Because, like, I would just be like, yo, here's my qualifications. Give me some strawberry milk. Give me, like, some Jack Daniel Coke smoothie shakes. Like those adult slushies that we, saw earlier. Give me, like, a few of those. Give me, like, some chocolate milk or strawberry milk. And, like, some protein shakes, that are, like, Quivcool, like, Nesquik, fucking, a little bunny Nesquik little fucker. With, like, the strawberry protein milk or whatever the fuck, shit like that. Give me a few of those and some water. Gucci. Because every now and then I'd be like, I need a little cool down because I want to eat this because it's so fucking good. But I don't want to overload my fucking senses where I'm like, oh, what? I need a little, a little cool down moment. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to, like, overload everything. You want to, like, especially if it's like building up to the spicy shit. I'm going to be like drinking a lot of that beforehand because then that will help like layer my, throat and my gut. Like I'll be drinking a lot of that beforehand. And then once I get to the spicy shit, that's for the emergency purposes. I would have a strategy behind it, dude. Because in a way, think about it. If you're sipping and just casually drinking those like, milks and stuff like that, that would help neutralize the spice and shit, where it kind of helps coat your throat a little bit. Once you get to the spicy shit, it's not going to be as fucked. You're not going to be as like, about it, at that point. Think about it. So just give me enough of that and I'll do it. Because I'll just have most of it right off the bat. I was just about to say that. Oh, see what I mean? YouTube won't let me post a message for some reason. Because YouTube is retarded. What can I tell you? There's a store here called Double D Meats. That has 2 aisles just hot sauce. It's heaven. Can you DM me the... Wait. That's in Redmond. Fuck. That's in... Shit. I forgot you're up there now. Fuck. I was about to say, yo, what's the address so I can go there? But, dude, damn it. Next time I'm up in Seattle and I have, like, for whatever reason, enough time to go out there in your neck of the woods for that store, just DM me anyway. Because then I can, like, go on Google Maps and, like, save it as, like, a place that I want to go to and shit. I'm going to save it because, yeah, there ain't no fucking way I'm missing out on that. What? It's over in Mount Lake Terrence, west of me a bit. So kind of like in between Seattle and Redmond, kind of in between. Okay. So should be doable. I mean, there's a few places in Seattle that I want to visit, but I just... the times I'm visiting there, I just don't have chance or ability to do that. So one of these days, if it's not for like a show and I'm just like up there for the fuck of it, I'm gonna have to like do some pit stops around some places because I've been wanting to do that. I just want to go to Seattle just to be there, just so I could check out some places I've been meaning to for a long time. Because I'm not gonna lie, like there's that slightly furry bar that's open mostly just on the weekends. They might have special moments that are open on the weekdays, but they're usually open on the weekends only. And it's a furry owned and furry based bar. Like by furries for like the queer community and furries and shit like that. And I want to go there, like so fucking bad. And I know where it is. I've saved it, and I know that I could get there if I were like to take a train there and then take transit. Like I know I could do it, but it's like I need a time and just to hang out there to do it. You know what I mean? That's the biggest slur shopping place in Portland, and that's fucked, man. Portland, we keep it weird. We should be having furry bars and shit like that, and yet Seattle on this bullshit front, bruh. Like, low key, fuck you, Seattle. That's bullshit. We should be like having that on lock. Or Portland, for fuck's sake. I will say there will always be this nice, friendly, fun little rivalry between Seattle and Portland, and I will keep it going as long as I live. Because, like, god damn it. Because I know for a fact Seattle could be way better about a lot of shit, but at the same time, they got some shit that's better. So I'm like, what the fuck? The weird wars, yeah. Keep Seattle weird. That don't ring right. Keep Portland weird does. So yeah, it's like keep that. It's like Seattle. Keep to your own turf. Come on now. I guess I kind of finally chilled out a little bit. Doesn't mean I won't kayak them, but that's good at least. Oh, no. Video got back up. Oh, shit. Spoke too soon. Man, I will say, it's kind of a bummer that the Oregon's laws on the alcohol limits cut where it is. Weirdly enough, I'm feeling like one more, but I'm just like, eh. It's like literally 40 minutes after the cutoff limit. I'm like, no. Which it was kind of weird because it's like 2:30 to 7. It's like kind of a weird little time frame. It's like such a short time frame. Might as well just make it a 24/7 thing. Just make it like liquor sales, like cut off, at a certain point. When it comes to bars and shit like that. But if you got like a convenience store, like a Plaid or Sevy's or whatever, might as well let people grab like their last little brewski of the night or whatever, even if it's like 3 a.m. or some shit. I wouldn't even mind if there was like a weird little like addendum law of the idea of like you can only get like a tall boy sub and only a maximum of like 1 or 2 or something like that. Where it's like you can't get a 6-pack, nothing like that. Maybe get like a tall boy, maybe 2, but that's about it. I mean, that wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea. I mean, because I know that there are a lot of places, in the country have their alcohol laws, way different than ours. And honestly, I'm just like, I look at those places and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why are you all so based? Why? I'm like, why are you all amazing? Why is working like weirdly anal about it? Ooh, I just popped my wrist and it felt fucking amazing. Ooh. But anyway, guess alcohol good and give these little floofs, little kayak, and get a little foo-foo or something like that. Or maybe my friend might be able to bring a little something back. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, let's call it good for now and have a little shorter one in comparison to
The last few streams being like 6 fucking plus hours. So anyway, but toodaloo, buckaroos. Hey, I clicked the OK button.